Police and Fire Commission meeting to order for Monday, July 11th, 2022 at 4 o'clock p.m. Item number 2 is roll call, starting on my right.
Giardino.
Jankowski here.
Baker.
Back here.
Painting.
Also present are Police Chief Jason Lobby, Fire Chief Mark Kane, and Town Administrator Jamie Gebert. Item number 3 is to certify the posting of the meeting. Greg?
I posted the meeting on Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. Daily Tribune, 11:58. Rome Town Hall, Police and Fire at 12:10. Quick Trip at 2:40. And Nakuzaport at Edwards State Bank at 2:45.
Thank you. Item number 4 is to approve the agenda. Is there a motion for that?
I'll move.
Second.
Motion by Greg, seconded by Pat to approve the agenda. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5, citizen comments. We don't have anybody in the audience. Jamie, you don't have any cards for anything? We'll move on to item number 6 then, which section is for no action contemplated except possible referral of future agendas, informational updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, current events, and announcements. Does anybody have anything that they want to bring forward? How about your golf outing?
Golf outing was weather shortened yesterday. So they were managed to get 9 holes in, had 16 teams participating in the outing. Lots of good reviews. Hope we get it bigger for next year.
I want to touch base on open house too, because that happened in between time, and maybe that's part of your report.
Yeah. So on, let me see where I'm at here. If I catch the right day, the June 11th, we held a open house public education safety day at the fire station here at the town's hall. Again, we were plagued by rain, but we did have a big turnout. About 100 citizens came through the door, ranging from children to some more advanced life folks. They had some good demonstrations for safety from ACEC and our department members. They look forward to having it again next year.
That was June 11th.
Correct.
Anyone else? Okay. Then we'll move on to item number 6A, which is the police department report. Chief?
In June, I attended a digital search warrant training and town staff meeting and a Spillman meeting. 155 calls for service, 74 citations and 35 written warnings. Boat Patrol was out 54 hours, 3 citations and 2 written warnings. In June, the town board changed town code that it exempted Lake Arrowhead, Camelot, and Sherwood from the state law that required slow no wake within 100 feet of shore. As a result of this change, motorboats are now restricted to slow no wake anytime they travel within 100 feet of the shoreline of any part of the lakes, which is state law, and all the other lakes, we exempted the lake, so we're just following state law basically now. As a reminder, Lake Camelot, Sherwood, and Arrowhead are slow no wake after 8. If residents observe boating violations on a routine basis, I urge them to call the police department so we can give the problem areas extra attention. We've had fireworks going off over the 4th of July as well. This is on my report pretty much all summer. Any discharge of fireworks without a permit issued by the town of Rome is illegal. If you're caught, you will receive a citation for illegal discharge. The fine's $250 and will confiscate your fireworks. Basically, we did routine maintenance to the fleet during June. Cars are starting to go in for the hail damage that happened earlier in the year. So those repairs are being made as well, and that concludes my report.
Okay. Questions for the chief? I had one question. You had one of your squad cars over at Johnson's for some type of problem, and it was there for quite a long period of time, I think, or?
That's a recall on a tick. So it was a lifter. That car's not finished yet, so it's back in service now, but they have to order other parts for it.
Okay. How many violations did you have for fireworks, Chief?
off the top of my head, I don't know, because this report doesn't cover the
Yeah, I know.
4th of July, so we didn't receive that many calls. There was a lot of social media posts about it. I think at least 4 tickets were issued on the lakes over that weekend on Saturday.
Just curious.
Any issues with getting the boat patrol staffed for any of the weekends so far up to this point?
Well, staffing's always an issue with. the
Well,
boat
it is,
patrol,
but, I mean,
No, it's been staffed. Obviously, at the town board meetings, they're discussing complaints on lakes, so we're looking to staff it further on the busy holiday weekends moving forward, so working on that staffing. I did have one boat patrol member that decided not to go to the academy, so once they decide that, they can't be on the roster anymore, so I only have 3 left, so.
okay. Any other questions for the chief? Okay. Hearing none then, we'll move on to Chief Kane with the fire department report.
For the months of May and June, we completed 22 calls for service, 8 fire calls, 8 EMS calls, 1 hazardous condition, 4 service calls, and we had 1 disregard. Currently staffed with 27 members. Kaylee Warnicki left our department due to some changes in her personal life. During this period, we put the Lucas device into service. And conducted training with our members, ambulance members, and police staff. Fire trainings included engine operations, pumping and drafting, our emergency vehicle operations annual refresher, vehicle extrication, search and rescue, and ventilation training. Our monthly department business meeting was held on the 20th in June and on the 16th in May. And I've met with Adams County Public Health, Rome Town Board, Sam Valley staff, the town administrator, police chief, Adams County Mabus team, and Midstate Technical College. We've had multiple members attending classes for Fire 1 and Driver Operator. Both classes have completed, and all of our members that were in those classes successfully completed them. Our routine maintenance and inspections was performed on the trucks, and engine 602 was scheduled for repair in May. It went out in June, and we just got it back. So it'll be back in service at 6 o'clock tonight. Our first semester fire inspections are 100% complete. Short-term rental inspections continue for new applicants, and we have 95% completed the renewal inspections for the 2022 licensing period. And brush and tree ordinance, we are receiving multiple reports of people bringing their lots into compliance, and they'll be scheduled for rechecks starting in November, I believe.
Okay.
You mentioned something about the very first kind of training that you mentioned. What is that?
Lucas
Lucas.
device.
Lucas device, that is an automated CPR machine.
Oh, okay.
It provides 100% effective compressions as long as the battery keeps going, and if the battery does run out, we can plug it into the wall. So it frees up help immensely on scene of a cardiac arrest.
Can you kind of describe I know it does compressions, but does it just lay on the chest, or does it surround the body, or?
Yep, it has a backboard that you would place underneath the patient, and then a V-shaped top unit that clips onto that backboard, and then you adjust the plunger for the correct depth and set it to the auto mode, and it just then performs those compressions. The same rate, same depth, without the human factor of getting tired, slowing down, and having to stop to change people out because of that.
But you still have to do the respiratory, right?
Yep, we still have to breathe for them.
So what this machine does is instead of a 2-man operation, it becomes a 1-man operation.
It can essentially come down to a one-man operation. I'm sure that a lot of people in the room have had the opportunity to do CPR and know that if you're working that scene, it is a labor-intense operation, and 2 people will wear out very fast. The reasoning for this machine is to try to provide a better resuscitation rate for our citizens in town and visitors.
You just put it, you haven't tried it, you haven't used it on anybody yet?
We have not used the one that we bought. It was a partnership between the Rome Police Department and the Rome Fire Department fund that paid for this. And we haven't not used ours on a patient yet. We have had opportunities to use other services before we had one. We've had a pretty decent success rate.
You know if Lifestars, had to use this on any of their ambulance calls at all?
I have not been made aware that they have. The Big Flats Fire Department also has one. But we have unfortunately had a couple incidents of cardiac arrest, and we've had it there available to us. This machine is limited has a limitation to body size. It only goes so far. One of our patients, we were unable to use it to a body size.
It does travel on the ambulance though, so even if the ambulance went on a mutual aid call, it would be available for use and then it just comes back. So it's a nice addition.
Now, the one that you bought in cooperation with the police department, is that kept in your first responding fire rig? or-
It rides on the
It
ambulance.
rides
Oh,
on
it
the
does, I
ambulance.
see,
Yep.
okay.
That way, regardless of which one of our trucks would show up, the ambulance is always gonna show up.
Right.
And I did spot check when they swapped ambulances back and forth for maintenance, and they moved it from ambulance from physical vehicle to vehicle, so that it stayed here like it's designed to.
Okay. Lori? You got a question?
No, I'll ask it at the EMS meeting, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for the fire chief regarding his reports from May or June? Okay. Item number 7, discussion only items not needing or contemplating any action. There's nothing listed there. Item number 8 is approval of the May 9th, 2022 meeting minutes. Is there a motion? Everybody's got a copy of those. They're probably emailed as well as a paper copy.
Pat, I make a motion to approve
I'll
that.
second that.
Okay, there's a motion by Pat, seconded by Gino to approve the minutes from May 9th. Is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 9, any agenda items which may include action expressly state that the action may be taken or contemplated. 9A, old business. We don't really have to discuss the fire chief promotion, I don't believe. I think that was on there inadvertently.
Well, it was the 16th.
The 16th of May, that the fire chief was sworn in as, or the interim chief was sworn in as the official fire chief for the town of Rome.
So May 9th was our last meeting,
Okay,
so, yeah, it's there just to say it's official.
okay, so for those of you that may be watching at home, this is Fire Chief Mark King, the new town of Rome fire chief. Jason, is there anything else you want to address on a boat patrol, other than you're down to 3 people and,
No.
okay? I'm assuming if at all possible, you're going to try and substitute a regular officer in whenever possible? Or?
Yeah, well, the boat patrol still goes out every weekend.
Right.
It's just how those 3 rotate to get it out, so it hasn't missed any time due to the resignation. It's just the other 3 get more time.
Okay. Okay, any questions by anyone regarding the boat patrol? All right, 9B, under new business, we'll have the Officer Jason promotion. Her probationary period was gonna be up. There was nothing, I'm assuming, in the last month or so that would prevented her from being moved into a full-time permanent status? No?
No.
Okay. Then I guess I'll take a motion to approve the promotion of Officer Jason to a permanent full-time status.
I'll move.
Pat, I second that.
Motion by Greg, second by Pat, to approve the promotion of Officer Jason. That's Katie Jason. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, then all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And the final thing on 9B is the election of officers. Typically, we try and do this at our first meeting right after the appointment of the new commissioner or reappointment of the older commissioner, which would probably have been in May, but that wasn't taken care of then, so now we have it. So, why don't we start with why don't we make this easy? Will you still be considered to be secretary,
Yes.
vice chairman? Okay, so, somebody want to make a motion that all the present officers be elected to serve in the same position for the next year?
I'll move that all officers keep their positions.
Pat, I second that.
Any other discussion? Is there anybody that would like to be considered for these positions that has not been? Gino, you are, okay, I'm just checking
no.
to make sure somebody else doesn't want to be,
It's Vito.
considered for it. I'm
You
sorry.
guys are doing a wonderful job.
Okay. Then let's take a roll call vote, starting with Vito. A yes vote would confirm the current officers for another term.
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
I'll vote yes.
Yes.
Pat? Greg?
Yes.
Motion carried through a roll call vote. Item number 10, next agenda items. Again, we're gonna have, that meeting would be in September, so you might have, it's gonna be after Labor Day, so would you have maybe some boat patrol hours and citation numbers for, second week in September, maybe? Would you be able to get those?
Potentially.
Okay. So I would suggest that we get a boat patrol update. Anything coming up with the fire department that we would need to discuss, in a month or two that you're aware of right now?
Nothing that I have currently.
Okay?
You mentioned at town board about scheduling a night for supervisors and, yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Jamie. We'll be scheduling a open house for town board supervisors, police and fire commission members. Just to come in, familiarize yourself with a few of our members that'll be present, and, doors open on trucks, the tools. Anybody has any questions about stuff? Just to make some familiarity, with the types of equipment that we're carrying and what our capabilities are with that equipment.
You can see the new SCBA's. Yep.
What's the date for that?
We haven't locked the date in, but we're looking into September.
Would it be possible, I know I was there and I think Vito was there when you did the demonstration with your new super little
At
pickup
the-
fire truck?
At the
Our
garbage
ultra-high
dump.
pressure system.
At the garbage dump that
Right.
day, yeah.
Would it be possible to maybe have another demonstration? I don't know if all the town board members were at that one or not, to see how that piece of equipment operated.
Yes, we can do that.
That's where they put the fire out in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there, right? Yeah, there was three of us.
I don't know if all the town board members were there at the time. I don't remember. I know, but, that might be another,
Carl were there, Bob was there,
Dan?
I think you were with us too, weren't you, Lori?
yeah.
And Dan was
Which is,
there, Bob was there, you were there,
yep.
Carol was there.
I don't know if Dan Minter was there.
We can
Yeah.
definitely.
it's
do
just a thought.
It's a great training for our folks. So and they like to they like to burn things and put them out.
Okay, do you think that would work in conjunction with what you're thinking
we
about,
can
having both of those
Yep.
on at the same time or
Yep.
same night?
Yep, we can definitely do that.
Okay.
this open house doesn't necessarily have to happen in-house. We could set trucks up at the transfer site and they, go through things and,
Or even go down to Station 2 afterwards. I don't know how many of you have been through Station 2. It's just another idea. Because it would be right down the road.
yeah, we could be weather dependent at that point.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? Why don't you email me or get a hold of me and let me know what date you would like to do this, based on the people that you have available wherever, and I will get in touch with the commissioners and let them know what that date and time would be.
Definitely. Sounds wonderful.
Question?
No, scratch my porch.
Okay. Anything else for next agenda items, fellas?
Nothing for me.
Okay, hearing nothing, then my calendar shows September 12th. That's a Monday. 4 PM still, please?
Sounds great.
Any objections at this
Well,
point?
I'll let you know,
Okay,
you know, my calendar's open, I'll let you know if I have, you know, anything going.
And it's, again, 14 Mile may be in this room. They've been meeting at Sherwood, but just in case, that would be,
okay,
we've dealt with that before. It's not a big
sure we have.
It looks good for me too.
Okay, Bob, I see you're checking, or?
I'm good.
Okay, then the next meeting will be September 12th, right back here at 4 o'clock. And I think I have the ability to then adjourn the meeting without having a vote, so I will officially adjourn the meeting at 4:22 PM. And I thank everyone for attending.